Hey everyone, Rob here from Gunfather Milsim. Today I'm bringing you a strategy and tactics video. Namely, we're going to talk about defense and airsoft. Now, in all airsoft games, or Milsim games or whatever, it's all varying degrees of attack and defend. Okay, whether that objective that you're defending or attacking is moving or stationary. It's all varying degrees of attack and defend. So today we're just going to talk about the defensive side of things. And I got some cool new learning aids here, magnets, better magnets, to show you guys what I'm talking about. Now in this scenario, this blue square over here, this is your objective. Whether it be a base or bomb prop or whatever, that's the objective. Red is your attackers, blue is your defenders. Now obviously the red team is trying to attack this way, and I'm telling you how these guys are going to do their job better. The first thing we're going to talk about is what kind of classes we want defending. Okay, now this is generally a good spot for support guns. Support gunners are the best at this, okay, because they control large areas of the field, preferably from a stationary position. They're perfect for it. Also excellent for riflemen. Riflemen can do everything well, okay? Good spot for riflemen. Snipers, I like having typically at least one sniper there if I got plenty of everything else. But I'm talking, I need 4 good riflemen before I'll put in one sniper, and I prefer one support gunner. If the option is support gunner or sniper, I'd go support gunner every time. Snipers are just like kind of a niche class that I would rather not use if I don't have to. But they can be good to have if you have a competent one. But generally speaking, riflemen and support gunners for defensive operations. Now the first thing we're going to do is not defend this point from the point. And that's huge. I want to defend this point from out here more. That way I have room as these positions are compromised, as these guys are moving forward and these positions are compromised, these guys can fall back to different positions. Remember, no position is so awesome that it doesn't have a second position to fall back to. An excellent position up here that doesn't have a way to fall back to another position is not an excellent position, it's a bad position. Okay, you always want to have the ability to fall back, and preferably you want to be able to fall back in a way that these guys can't see where you're falling back to and where you're adjusting to. Now, whether that be a terrain feature or a ravine or something where they can no longer see the new position you move to. And that comes to OODA loops, and we're going to talk about it later. Now, anytime you are close to your objective, defending it, there's a potential for you to get flanked. There's always a potential for you to get flanked. And every attacking team is going to have kind of 2 elements to it. The support element and then like a flanking element that's going to come here. Why? Well, because airsoft's a game of angles. And the more angles you have, whoever has the most angles of attack is generally going to win. And that's why it's bad to defend at your point from your point, because this limits your angles. And you're giving up a lot of the field to the offensive player, and they're gonna cut off that field. They're gonna use that field to their advantage. It's kind of like chess. Whoever controls most of the board is gonna win. Airsoft's the same way. Whoever controls most of the field, most of the area of operation is gonna win, because they have tactical flexibility to move around and use different angles. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite defensive techniques. It's generally called active defense. I have a couple players on my team that are really, really good at it. So I try to put anywhere from a third to a quarter of my defending players in an active defense role. And these are players who are generally fit, can move, have a very good decision-making ability, very good tactical mindset, and they're very good at weighing the pros and cons of a position. These have to be very smart, independent players who can do their job well and know how to use a radio. These are kind of your star players. Okay, anybody can sit on a spot and hold down that lane of fire. These guys have to think. Now the job of these 2 is basically flank protection. You can do this with one guy. I'll show you how later, but it works best with 2. So they're going to move over here. Now their job is not to eliminate the attacking team. It's probably not possible, they're too small. Their job is to simply harass and delay and frustrate the attacking team, because the attacking team knows where they're going. They're going this way, they know where the objective is, and their attention is mostly going to be turned that way. So these guys are attacking the flank already, which is an advantage, because they're going to be harder to see. They're not going to be, it's easy generally for them to approach. And here's how I generally do it. As soon as they can see these guys or get in a position where they can engage these guys, they're going to take the one shot that they guarantee can kill. I can guarantee I can hit that guy 98% of the time. They're going to take that shot knock him out. He's got to walk back. And they're going to quickly maybe take a couple more shots at the next guy. Only a couple. Hit, miss, whatever. Their goal is not to stay here a long time, because if this whole element reorients towards them, they're in trouble. They're not going to hang. They're just too outnumbered. So get the one kill you guarantee can get, engage another one, and then run like hell back. Preferably they're going to run back to an area where these guys can no longer observe them, these guys can no longer see them. If they can still see them, it's not really going to work. They got to keep going and going and going and move and hit flanks or whatever they got to do until these guys no longer know where they're at. They can no longer observe them. The reason they're effective is because these guys don't know where the hell they're at or when they're going to hit or what direction they're going to hit from. That's critical, okay? So they're going to fall back, and maybe they draw a couple of these guys, maybe they don't. Hit one, fall back. Hit one, maybe move over here. Whatever they got to do to keep moving and keep pulling these forces down. Now the best way to do this, in my opinion, with two players doing dynamic defense is put one close and one far. Okay, and obviously the distances here are relative. This guy engages this guy, knocks him out, runs like hell to right about here. This guy remains hidden the whole time, never fires a shot. While these guys are aggressively going towards this guy, trying to find this guy that ran, this guy engages, knocks him out, runs like hell back to here. Now this guy has established a new position. He's hiding in, lying in wait. These two approach. He engages this one, takes this one out. Now he runs like hell back. Now this guy is the new guy that's hidden. As he advances, takes him out. And once again, the goal of these two players, these dynamic players, is not to defeat this entire attacking element. It's too big. It's just to harass and delay. I've had games where I've done this very successfully, and these guys never get to do anything because these guys are so good at doing their job and harassing and delaying that maybe these guys just can't let it go. They just can't ignore them. Now, if you have a good guy here, a good commander, good squad leader, he'll see what's going on and say, nope, ignore them. Post two guys here as security to walk along the side with us, and we'll all move up here, or maybe a third guy up here, just to protect that flank, okay? And not get drawn into this fight down here. That'll separate his unit. All right. Now I did this a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, I did a video about this very topic, this active defense. And it's I don't do a lot of gameplay videos because generally they're a pain in the ass to edit, and no one really watches them, no one really cares about them anyway. I mean, they're just boring and they're hard to see what the hell's going on. I'll put a link to this particular video down below because it's me and another guy and we're doing this exact scenario where we're doing an active defense where we're just harassing and dropping back and dropping back. Now that player had never done this technique before, so he does a good job at it, but he gets kind of aggressive right off the bat and tries to advance when we get those initial two kills, and I'm like, no, our job is not here. We're not here to advance and take those guys out. We're here to fall back and delay and harass. So you'll hear me in the video yelling, drop, drop, drop. I'm telling him to drop back. And once he figures it out, we do a great job dropping back, and we harass that attacking element for quite a long time. Once again, I'll put a link below. So that's my 2 cents on defensive operations. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You got any questions or comments, leave them below, and thanks for watching.